organizing project. And thank you for being with here today. With us today. And you did come into our classroom, our Education Foundation class, and you kind of introduced what Swop was, and you brought some of your students with you. For those of us who don't know what it is, can you just describe just a little bit of what it is and just how you're involved with it?
Okay. Yeah, the Southwest Organizing Project, we deal with certain issues that that this community is facing. So, for instance, the issue of immigration, undocumented people here, the struggles that they go through. So we're working on certain bills. We're trying to pass the Dream Act. So just being attentive to those needs and addressing them and empowering the people to not only address the issues that they're facing, but also be attentive to what's going on within the community and joining forces to work on these issues. So we work on immigration, we work on education reform, which is my area where I run the VOICE program, which stands for Voices of Youth at Chicago Education. And we primarily, our main focus is to decrease the dropout rate within the Chicago public schools, which right now is about 50%, dramatic dropout rate. And so this is a completely youth-led initiative where young people are meeting together. They're coming up with youth-led solutions to the issues that the Chicago public schools are facing. We just met with Charles Payne, and we sat down, and the young people explained to them that we want the discipline code rewritten. We want to see the freshman support to be increased, and so all these issues that the young people themselves have singled out, we said, well, we want to see changes to this. So just revolving around organizing people. Not only do we work on immigration and education, but we also work on housing. So foreclosure issues. It's just around this community is dramatic. It's dramatic. There's blocks that have 7, 8 houses that have been boarded up. That families have lost their home. The issue of safety, which is a pretty big and dramatic problem within this community. Also, we have gangs, we have drug activity. I mean, you name it. We have a lot of issues going on regarding safety. So we have ceasefire. I don't know if you've been aware of ceasefire. So ceasefire is primarily decreasing the shootings, gun violence within the community. It's throughout the city of Chicago and Illinois, and so we house ceasefire. We have outreach workers. We got interrupters that when violence breaks out, we have young people that go out and try to stop the violence, try to stop and talk to the people that are involved in these street organizations, and just try to cease the violence. So we work on a number of issues, and I've been working with young people for about 11 years. Been very passionate about the work that I do, and I've seen dramatic results.
That is awesome. So the kids get involved, and is this just high school students?
Yeah, it's high school students. However, it's not limited to that. We understand that although young people can accomplish a lot, we still need the help of the adults. We still need the allies. So we look for allies like Charles Payne. We look for allies, the principals, teachers that can come alongside us, even parents and community residents that they just want to see a change in the system and the way schools are run. And so it's extremely important that we have allies to come alongside the young people and support them in any which way they can.
Wonderful. And how long has Swop been going on for? When was it?
Swop was founded in 1996, and it's just primarily, we revolve around organizing and just getting people with the same mentality, and we realize this is the world as it is, and this is the way we want it to be. And so we look at the communities and a lot of the gentrification that has gone on, people being displaced, and so we want to address those needs. And this is the way it is right now, but in organizing, this is where we want it to be. So what is the process? What can we do to change the way things are?
And that's what you guys are doing
issues that I just mentioned, those are the areas that we are organizing around. Um, and and although it's definitely a struggle. Sometimes we see um, little progress, but this is something that we're dedicated. We got extremely passionate organizers in our organization, organizers that just countless hours dealing with these issues. And I think what sets SWOP apart is that we have all been touched by these issues. So we have family members that maybe are undocumented. We have loved ones that have been affected by violence. So all this is really close to our hearts, and so we're very passionate about it. This is not just about a paycheck. This is not just about doing a 9-to-5 job. In fact, the organizer's schedule is quite a dramatic one. So it's just not a job. We're very passionate about what we do.
That's awesome. It says on the mission statement on the website www.swopchicago.com or .org, excuse me. It says because there has been a dramatic increase in the Latino and African American populations on Chicago's southwest side, these large and rapid demographic shifts have resulted in the breakdown of institutional and neighborhood cohesion. Why do you think that is, just on like a personal?
Well, I really think this is hidden agendas. So I mentioned gentrification.
Right.
So we got communities that predominantly have been dominated by certain races, and developers come in and say, well, we're going to build condos, and they set these expectations of living where people cannot they cannot afford the rent that these condos are asking for, and so these groups are forced to move, and that's from my point of view, that's what I've seen. It's a dramatic neighborhood that predominantly was Hispanic. Now we see a shift of African Americans coming in, or the other, or just exactly the opposite, where there's predominantly African American, and we see the Hispanics. And I mean, we can get controversial and say that this is a hidden agenda between groups of people that are doing this intentionally. And unfortunately, that's just the reality of the world that we live in. But I mean, that's what it's based on. Groups of people are being pushed out. A really good example of that is what happened in Cabrini Greens. It was definitely a trouble spot, but it wasn't always like that. But developers came in, they wiped that down, and where are the people supposed to go? So they have to relocate somewhere. So over here in the South, that is definitely what has happened.
Thank you for your personal opinion on that. I appreciate it. So SWOP right now, how do you think SWOP's doing right now? Do you see it growing?
Oh yeah,
like,
I mean,
even more so in the next couple of years? Because I know you're coming to our school, we hear about it, I tell my friends. I mean, this could get big.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I think that for the size of our organization, we have a tremendous amount of influence. We intentionally position ourselves with legislators, representatives, and we're constantly lobbying for the rights of the people. And I think that the reason why SWOP has been so successful is because our intentions are extremely clear. We don't have no hidden agendas. We are just for the people. That's what it comes down to. The work that I do with the young people, it's not for me. It's not to make a name. I'm not in the news. I'm not getting a big paycheck. It's just for the young people. I want to see the system change. I want to see my 4 children have a better future. I definitely can't afford for them to go to private schools and all this. So I think that SWOP is just going to continue to have a greater influence in the work that we do, and it's because of our heart and our passion and our just our clear intentions of why we do what we do.
Wonderful.
So in order for SWOP to be successful, you have to get participation from the students and the adults within the community. How does SWOP go about getting that participation within the organization?
In organizing, there's term that's always being used a lot is one-on-ones. And exactly what you're doing here is sitting down, if you want to know a little bit about my organization. So organizers within SWOP, they are consistently, week in and week out, they are sitting down with just community members, institutions, and just finding out, okay, what is their interest, what is the shared interest, and how can we empower them, and how can we empower each other to get the work done. I constantly sit down with young people and saying, this is the way things are right now. For instance, the African American community here, some may not be as aware of the immigration issue that we're having. And so they may be just, it's their reality, their world, their family, that's not an issue. But I sit down and I explain, this is what I'm working on, this is the issue. And there's a lot of African Americans that show interest in that. And so one-on-ones are extremely beneficial. They're genuine. I want to know about you. I want to know your interests. And this is what I'm working on. This is what we can do together. So, I mean, it's very grassroots, very just one-on-one type of atmosphere. And I think that is the foundation of the success that SWOP has had.
For the students who are involved, are there any specific concerns or goals that they've voiced that they'd like to focus their attention on and possibly accomplish?
Yeah. I think that the young people of today, they're faced with so many issues, especially the young people that I've been in contact with in this high school and around this area. Definitely violence is something that really draws them in, and they really want to do something about it. However, it's like a can of worms once you start seeing why this is happening, who is behind it. It's definitely a task that can seem sometimes you don't even know how to begin. But we have taken some steps, just bringing awareness, the roots of violence, having conversations around that. But for this high school, for the voice program that I run, we have focused completely and solely on freshmen transitioning to high school. We've seen, as statistics will show, that freshmen coming into high school, they're just not prepared. They're just not prepared. And so we've taken a really close look at the transition to high school, and they have come up with some solutions that are just remarkable that we're trying to not only implement it in this school, but we're trying to implement it throughout all the Chicago high schools. And so looking at issues of the transition into high school, looking at teaching and learning, is the curriculum relevant to what their experience is? Is it relevant to them? Is it really speaking to their life? Are they really learning, or are they just memorizing stuff? So they can come up with so many things, but I guess as an organization, we have to pick and choose our battles. And the issues that this community and the many young people are facing, it's such a wide range of issues. So we just choose, okay, let's start here, and let's see where that takes us. So that's the approach that I have taken with the young people.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Joel. And once again, that website, if you are interested in getting involved or checking